Hey guys, hello everyone. Hope you all are fine and healthy. So today we are going to see the part 4 of C programming series, and in this we will cover various types of looping, that is iteration statement, while loop, do while loop, for loop and nested for loop, and at last in the nested for loop we will see two programs to print the half pyramid and inverted half pyramid patterns. So let's start with today's lecture. Let's dive into today's lecture. Now let's start with iteration statement. We simply call it loops. Now the question comes, why do we need loop? Suppose you need to repeat a particular set of statement n number of times. Then we can achieve this by using loops. There are mainly three types of loops: while, do while and for. Now let's see what is while loop. It is simplest kind of loop. It simply repeats the statement while the expression is true. The syntax of using this is while, then in bracket expression, and after that a statement that you want to execute. Let's see one example. What I have done here is initialize a variable n of int data type and assigns a value 15 to it. And after that I have declared while statement. The condition is n should be greater than 0, and then the statement that to be performed under while block is printf n. Printf n, that is, we are simply printing the value of n, and then the value of n to be decreased by 1. See, the while loop will keep executing until the condition fails. Now, when the value of n becomes 0, then it will come out of the loop and will execute the statement that is written outside the loop. See, the output we have got is 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and while loop finished. See, as the value of loop becomes 0, then the condition fails. So the whole statement has been come out of the loop. Now comes the do while loop. It is just similar to while loop, except that condition is evaluated after the execution of statement instead of before. It guarantees at least one execution of statement even if the condition is never fulfilled. See the syntax, that is do statement and then the condition is being checked in while loop. The basic difference between while and do while loop is that in while loop it will only enter inside if the condition is true, and in the do while loop at least once the statement is executed and then the condition is checked. Let's see one example here. I have declared a variable n of int data type and then started the do block. And in the do block, I have asked the user to enter the value of n. And what is the condition I have mentioned in the while loop is that n should not be equal to 20. That is, it will stop execution of the loop if the user entered 20, and it will come out of the loop. See the output. This block will keep executing for any number except 20. As the user entered 20, it will come out of it. Now the next comes is for loop. It is the loop which we will be executing most of the time. It has mainly three parts: initialization, condition and increment or decrement. In initialization part, generally it declares a variable and set it to some initial value. This part is executed only one time, and that too in the starting of the loop. And now the second comes the condition. If it is true, then the loop body continues. Otherwise, it directly comes out of the loop where it ends. The third is increment and decrement. It is done as per the user's requirement. Let's see one example. Here I have declared a variable I and then the for loop initialize the value of I to equal to 0, and then the condition is that the value of I should be less than 10, and then I have incremented the value of I, that is I++, and inside the loop body I have stated that printf I. Now see the output screen. What I have got is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, we have not got 10 because the condition was I should be less than 10, not less than equal to. If it was less than equal to, then we have got 10 in the output, but it is less than 10. So 10 is not less than 10. So the condition fails and it comes out of the loop. So now the for loop finished. So here we have finished with the iteration statement. So now comes the nested for loop, nested loop, that is loop inside loop. C programming allows to use loop inside another loop. It can be done with all the three loops which we have studied right now, that is while, do while and for. But in this lecture we will see about only nested for loop. See the syntax here mentioned in the screen. One for loop has been declared inside another for loop, and then the statement for both the loop is being mentioned. Now let's see some example, that is to print the patterns, the most excited one. So guys, first we will see to print the half pyramid of asterisk, that is star. See, we mainly use nested loop for to print matrix, that is rows into columns, the matrix. That is outer for loop sees the rows and inner for loop sees the column. That is outer for loop is responsible for the operation doing with root number of rows, and the inner for loop is being responsible for all the operation carrying with columns. So in this program we will use the same logic. So let's see the program. As we have declared three variables I, j and rows of int data type, and then ask the user to enter the number of rows, and then initialize the outer for loop, that is iterating from 1 to the number of rows, and then for inner for loop within 1 and it goes till I, that is j is being initialized to 1 and the condition is that j should be less than equal to I because it has mentioned for column. And see, we want the half pyramid, so see the number of see the value, it has been slanted here. We want a triangle that is half pyramid, that's why we have mentioned that j should be less than equal to I. That is, in the first iteration it will print only one star because the value of I will be 1, and in the next line in the second iteration 2 stars because the value of I will be 2, and the inner for loop it is 2 times. Similarly it will goes on, and we got the half pyramid of star. Try it by yourself also guys, do some modification, you will really find it interesting and will enjoy the coding. And whatever modification you will do in this, you will see a new pattern in this. Similarly we can do for inverted for loop also, inverted half pyramid. So pause the video guys and think that what changes should be done to achieve the same. So let's start, let's see together. What we have to do guys is, so it is really amazing to see everything is same as the previous one. The only thing changed is the outer for loop because we have started with 5 stars and it goes till 1, means the value of stars has been decreasing. So the main difference between the previous program and this program is the changes should be done in the outer for loop. So guys, I hope you all guys understand it and find it interesting. So guys, write the code, do some modification, and you will see various types of interesting pattern by yourself also and will enjoy the coding. Let's see the difference between entry control loop and exit control loop. It is very important guys. So let's see. Entry control loop is the loop that test condition is checked first and the loop body will be executed, then only the loop body will be executed. And in exit control loop, the loop body is executed first and then the condition is checked afterwards. In entry control loop, if the test condition is false, loop body will not be executed. That is for loop and while loop. I think you got it. We have seen previous only that if the condition false, then it will come out of the body, and these are the for loop and while loop. And the exit control loop, if the test condition is false, loop body will be executed at least once. Do while loop lies under exit control loop. And in entry control loop are used when checking of test condition is mandatory before executing the loop body. Exit control loops are used when checking of the test condition is mandatory after executing. So guys, I'm ending up with today's lecture. Hope you all learned something new and interesting in today's lecture and find it useful and also enjoyed today's lecture. So guys, feel free to reach us for any types of clarification and doubts. So I'm ending up with today's lecture. Bye bye. Thank you and thanks for listening.